Welcome to a brand new retro game hunt in a brand new store that I have never covered. Some of you have seen the YouTube short and you are familiar. You guessed it right. This is Entertainment World. We are back down in the Midlands with a Birmingham extravaganza. This shop had retro everything. You'll see in the walkthrough here, we've got some VHS off to the left. There's vinyl, there's tape cassettes, there's board games, there's a little bit of everything from your childhood and my childhood. So if this video improves your smile by even 0.1%, I would implore you to subscribe. You would be making me smile in return and it would be a massive help. So thank you in advance. So, VHS, there were some absolute bangers in here, some films that I'd not seen for a very long time. And above the vinyl, we have this glass cabinet with some of the more obscure items in. Not so much Final Fantasy VII, that tends to be quite common and that's dropped significantly in price these days. But you may have clocked Tombi, it looked like it was in an old rental case. 100 quid? Absolute bargain in my opinion. For Tombi it does go for a lot more, but the case, albeit rental, did look pretty battered. Now there's more glass cabinets and the guys were so friendly, and they said to me, if you want to see anything, let us know, we will open these cabinets for you. Below them we've got comics. Who remembers Dandy? I actually read Beano as a little girl, but hands up in the chat if you read Dandy as well. It really had a vibe, did this shop, of like a kind of just a Pickers. You'd kind of go in, it was a bit kind of jumbly. It was amazing and I really liked the unique feel. Everywhere I go seems to have such a unique feel, and I just feel amazing that I can kind of experience this and bring you guys along with me. They actually had some good game guides as well. There were a couple that I wanted, but for some reason I just didn't pick them up, but maybe on a future trip. But what would you have picked? Please timestamp it and enjoy. PlayStation 1 titles aplenty, and boy are we going to have a jolly good route through these. They looked almost, I think, triple road, I would say. I didn't kind of dive into the further back stuff, but you will get a really good overview of what is in here. There was nothing rare. A lot of it I did pick up one though, but unfortunately I'm missing manual. I'll show you at the end, and if you can help me find the manual or you have a copy for sale, again, hit me up over on the Gebs24 Facebook group. That would be wicked. I actually wanted to pick up this. I'm actually going to contact them and ask them to send me this and post it out, because I didn't catch the chap's name that own it, but he did say that if anybody wants anything, they will ship out. So if anybody wants anything, as always, I will link their Facebook in the description, and together we can keep the local retro game shops alive. I absolutely love that we can do that, and the more you guys watch these episodes, the more we can hopefully get down to these kinds of shops to spend a little bit of cash or maybe do some trades as well. So I think for me, glaring through these cabinets, the takeaway is definitely the variety, and I think the prices are really, really good as well, which, you know, everything's priced. And I've always said this, when things aren't priced, I get a little bit, sometimes it can be a genuine mistake, but as you can see, these guys have got their prices on, so that is really, really cool. Later in the episode, you'll see the games at the back of the store with the Amiga and the big box PC stuff, and there was so much stuff there. A lot of it wasn't priced, and you'll see that it would be incredibly difficult to get everything priced, because that was the kind of what I call the jumble sale area of the shop, which I loved, by the way. I love just kind of getting on my hands and knees and rooting through boxes and cabinets, and it just feels so authentic when you're out on a retro game hunt, and it's just a phenomenal experience. I've known about this shop actually for quite some time, but for some reason I haven't gone down. And I'm so glad I did. It was so much more than I was expecting. It was bigger than I expected. It was just, had more stock than I expected. Everything about it was just wicked. It's a massive thumbs up. How much did that music remind you of a Ridge Racer game? Every time I hear it and use it in a video, it makes me smile so much. But we're looking through some Game Boy games, and as you can see in the glass behind, there were some Game Boy Color and GBA games, and it was just really cool. I thought, like, just having randomly placed unboxed games on a shelf like they're just so odd. And again, it's that quirkiness, isn't it? It just comes down to that personality and that flair. Right behind that Game Boy cabinet was this. We've got some really nice figures in here, some NES, some Wii U, some really cool stuff, even a couple of NTSC SNES games, so that was wicked as well. I said in my last episode at Vintage Gamer about Atari. We've got some Atari games there. Again, I'm not a massive Atari gamer, but I can appreciate just how important, how monumental Atari were for igniting so much good stuff in terms of the video game industry. And right at the start, I mentioned it's not just retro games, we got retro everything, tape cassette player galore. I love it. Quick entry though, Night Trap, that was only 45 quid, that's dropped in price massively. this was my favourite area of the shop. This is what I'm calling the jumble sale area. So it's just a kind of like, everything was just not in a place but in a place, if you know what I mean. And it was just so mixed and so all over the place that I just kind of fits in with how my head operates. Kind of weird. I'm just kind of all over the place in my head at times. And just look at it, you can see in the background there's so much cool stuff. We got some nice Amstrad games, we got Amiga, we got Spectrum. I mean, for your classic home computer lovers, you need to get yourself to the back of the shop. You'll see the odd SNES console in there, but just look at it. And I had to kind of step behind a few rows of things to get this. They did say I could come back here, so that was really cool. There was probably so much more to see. But this thing I remember that my brother had, this was an original Ghostbusters toy. My brother used to sit Egon Spengler in his little kind of, I don't know, helicopter, whatever that was. It was wicked. Horace Goes Skiing there. I showed that because that is the first video game I ever played on my ZX Spectrum. I was 5 years of age. I've told the story many and many a times. I won't tell the story again because there might be a few upcoming podcasts and interviews in magazines that I'm in that tells the story of Horace Goes Skiing. In fact, it's the first question I'm always asked in interviews. So when did you start playing video games? And I say the same thing every time. So I want you to listen out on my socials and I will show you, and you can hear the podcast and you can hear that story. Now we got some nice big box PC again, really nice to see. I have 1, 2, 3 and Chronicles on big box PC for Tomb Raider. So I may or may not have picked that up, but you'll have to wait until the end of the episode. So it's really, really cool. I mean, check it out. Again, timestamp anything. We're on the shopping experience together. What would you have purchased so far on this Entertainment World episode? Another random amazing box in here was this. Initially I thought it was just empty boxes that were kind of broken down, but the more you dig around, actually it seemed like a bit of a bargain bin. I don't think anything was priced if I remember correctly, but the guys were really reasonable, and if you just take it to the till, which is just off to the right, they'll give you a price on things. So I know I said earlier that, oh, look at all the PS1 games, they're priced, but I did say that this back area is probably where you're not going to find games that are priced. So I didn't buy anything out of this because it was predominantly sport box cartridge based titles. FIFA 96, I'll just kind of give this a bit of a plug. FIFA 96 and FIFA 97 on the SNES in particular, you want to be getting them because they do go for about 5 to 10 quid. The value of the later FIFA games in a console's life cycle are going up, so just bear that in mind. I didn't buy them because I've got them, but I love watching these back myself because 9 times out of 10 I'll see something, I'm like, oh, I don't actually remember seeing that. But so far I haven't seen anything in this episode except for the NBA 99, which was on the PS1 at the front. I'm going to contact them. Please get that sent out to me. I'll give you my address, I'll pay, obviously. But yeah, just thought I'd have a route through this predominantly for you guys. I knew about 2 minutes into this little section here, maybe even 30 seconds, that I wasn't going to buy anything out of this. I didn't buy any music as well, but there were quite a few people down in this section because you can see there's lots of vinyls as well. And I said to Jess, had she not have been working on this excursion, she would have loved this store because she's massively into vinyl. I would have picked that up had it not been that battered, but nonetheless, pretty cool to see. 10 out of 10 on the cool factor for that Philips television. Wow, would I love one of those. Now we're going to be going back to the Lady Lounge in a few seconds, and we're going to conclude, and I'm going to show you what I picked up. There's another retro game, in fact there's loads of retro game hunts planned, a couple that are going to be out of England very, very soon. Subscribe and let's go. My first time in Entertainment World in Birmingham was an absolute banger. There was so much eclecticness in there with vinyl, CDs, tape cassettes, toys. I mean, these sealed face huggers. I really want a face hugger, but I just wasn't in the mood to pay £100 for a face hugger. Maybe I made a mistake, and if so, I will message the guys down at Entertainment World and see if they can sort me out a deal. But nonetheless, I will link their Facebook in the description. Go and give them a follow. And again, please hit that subscribe button on my channel. I'm working super hard to give you guys as much cool content as I think I could possibly get. We've also got a Discord now. Everything you need is in the description. But now I'm going to show you what we picked up, and I'll see you in the next one. I need a few seconds of your time to tell you about channel memberships. If you guys want to become a channel member, click join from the main page or the second link in the description. There are 3 tiers, all with different perks for you if you want to become a team member. Thanks for your time. Let's continue with the video.